There is a disease that afflicts the modern man. It is not a disease of the body, but of the ego. It is the compulsion to speak. You believe that your words are your greatest asset. You believe that if you explain yourself enough, if you articulate your feelings enough, and if you share your opinions enough, the world will understand you. You think that words build bridges. You are wrong. Words do not build bridges. Words dig graves. Every time you open your mouth, you are leaking power. You are hemorrhaging information. You are taking the vast, complex mystery of your internal world and reducing it to a clumsy, finite string of sentences that can be misunderstood, twisted, and used against you. The fourth law of power states, always say less than necessary. This contradicts everything you have been taught. You are taught to communicate. You are taught to express yourself. But in the realm of power, expression is a liability. When you speak, you become predictable. You become a known quantity. And once you are known, you can be manipulated. The more you say, the more common you appear. You strip away your own aura of authority. Think of the man who dominates the room. Is he the one chattering nervously, filling every silence with a joke or an opinion? No, that is the jester. That is the child. The man who dominates is the one who sits back. He is the one who listens. He is the one whose face is a cipher. When he finally speaks, the room stops. Why? Because his words are rare. And because they are rare, they are valuable. Louis XIV, the Sun King of France, was the master of this. His courtiers would come to him with long, elaborate requests. They would use flowery language, trying to persuade him, trying to read his face for a sign of approval or anger. And Louis would simply look at them and say 3 words, "I shall see." Then he would walk away. He gave them nothing. He gave them no hook to hang their hopes on, no anger to fear, no logic to argue with. He kept them in a state of suspended terror. They went home and obsessed over those 3 words. They analyzed his tone. They analyzed his micro-expressions. By saying almost nothing, he occupied their minds completely. If he had argued with them, he would have lowered himself to their level. By remaining silent, he remained a god. You must understand the mechanics of this dynamic. Power resides in the receiver, not the transmitter. When you are talking, you are performing. You are seeking validation. You are trying to prove a point. You are the one expending energy. The listener is the judge. The listener is the one holding the cards. Every time you answer a question with a long paragraph, you are handing the other person ammunition. You are telling them what you value, what you fear, and where your buttons are. You are giving them the blueprint to dismantle you. Most people talk because they are terrified of the silence. Silence is a vacuum. It is heavy. It creates tension. When the conversation pauses, you feel a spike of anxiety. You feel the need to fix it. You feel the need to be polite. So you blurt out something. You make a joke. You tell a secret. You offer an opinion that you haven't fully thought through. And in that moment of weakness, you ruin yourself. Because once the words are out, they are not yours anymore. They belong to the public. They belong to your enemies. You can never take them back. Mastering the art of silence requires you to become comfortable with tension. You must learn to let the silence hang in the air like smoke. You must look at the other person and simply not speak. Let them be the one to break. Let them be the one to babble. Let them be the one to reveal their hand, because they cannot stand the weight of the void you have created. The logic is simple. The less you say, the less risk you run of saying something stupid. How many times have you left a meeting or a date and thought, "Why did I say that?" You said it because you lacked discipline. You said it because your ego wanted to be the star of the show. But the star is not the one with the most lines. The star is the one who controls the narrative. And you cannot control the narrative if you are constantly reacting to it with noise. To be powerful, you must be inscrutable. You must be a blank screen upon which others project their own fears and desires. If you tell them who you are, they will lose interest. If you let them guess, they will be fascinated forever. You must understand that words are not just tools for communication. They are boundaries. When you define something, you limit it. When you declare your position, you become a fixed target. The moment you say, "I am a socialist," or "I am a capitalist," "I love this," or "I hate that," you have solidified yourself. You have given your enemies a concrete shape to attack. You have hardened into a statue, and statues are easily toppled. The master, however, remains liquid. He uses language not to reveal his mind, but to obscure it. He speaks in broad strokes. He uses ambiguity as a shield. This is the tactical fog. By keeping your answers vague, you force others to interpret them. And here is the secret of human psychology. People will always interpret ambiguity in a way that serves their own fears or desires. If you are silent, the paranoid man will think you are plotting against him. The admirer will think you are deep in profound thought. The fool will think you are agreeing with him. You haven't done anything. You have simply held up a mirror. They are seeing their own reflection, and they are attributing it to your genius. Consider the artist Andy Warhol. In interviews, he was famous for saying almost nothing. He would answer complex questions about the meaning of his art with "yes," "no," or "gee, I don't know." Critics analyzed his silence for decades. They wrote dissertations on his vacuous depth. They claimed he was a subversive genius, commenting on the emptiness of consumer culture. Warhol just let them talk. He let them build the legend for him. If he had explained his art in detail, the magic would have vanished. He would have just been a guy painting soup cans. By saying nothing, he became an enigma. An enigma is always more powerful than a fact. This applies directly to your social hierarchy. In any organization, the person who explains themselves the most is the one with the least power. The intern explains why the report is late. The middle manager explains why the numbers are down. The CEO does not explain. The CEO demands explanations. When you catch yourself offering unsolicited excuses, stop immediately. You are signaling submission. "I'm sorry I'm late. The traffic was bad and my alarm didn't go off and..." Stop. You sound like a child. "I'm late. It won't happen again." That is the statement of an adult. It acknowledges the fault without bathing in the shame. It keeps your dignity intact. You must also recognize that silence is the ultimate weapon in negotiation. Most people are uncomfortable with the pause. In a negotiation, when an offer is made, there is a moment of silence. The amateur rushes to fill it. He starts bidding against himself. "Well, I could do $50,000, or maybe $45,000 if that helps." He is talking himself out of money because he is afraid of the quiet. The master loves the quiet. When an offer is made, the master looks at it. He looks at the person across the table, and he says nothing. He waits. He lets the silence stretch until it becomes physically painful for the other person. In that pain, the other person will crumble. They will start to justify their offer, or better, they will improve it just to break the tension. Okay, look, we can probably do $55,000. You just made $5,000 by keeping your mouth shut for 10 seconds. Silence is expensive. Make them pay for it. Furthermore, saying less protects you from the inevitable stupidity of the moment. Emotions are volatile. In the heat of anger, you will want to say things designed to hurt. You will want to burn bridges. You will want to have the last word. But the last word is usually the one you regret the most. Once a harsh word leaves your mouth, you are its slave. You have created a reality that you must now live in. You have created an enemy who will never forget. If you bite your tongue, you remain free. You can always tell someone off tomorrow. You can always declare war next week. But you can never unsay what was said today. By delaying your speech, you gain the advantage of time. You can cool down. You can strategize. You can decide if the battle is worth fighting. Usually, you will find that it is not. Usually, you will find that your silence angered them more than your insults ever could. There is nothing more infuriating to an angry person than a calm, silent response. It denies them the fuel for their fire. It makes them look hysterical while you look controlled. It is the ultimate insult. You are not worth my words. This is the defensive nature of Law 4. But it is also offensive. Sarcasm, witticisms, and sharp retorts. These are the tools of the court jester. They are entertaining, but they are not powerful. The king does not need to be witty. The king creates gravity. Gravity is heavy. Gravity is silent. If you want to be taken seriously, strip your speech of all unnecessary adjectives. Remove the ums, the likes, and the I thinks. Speak in declarations. Speak in facts. Or do not speak at all. Make your words scarce, and they will become pearls. Throw them like gravel, and they will be walked upon. There is a profound psychological phenomenon that occurs when you restrict your speech. It is called the oracle effect. In ancient times, when people visited the Oracle of Delphi, they did not receive clear, detailed instructions. They received riddles. They received fragmented sentences. They received silence. Because the oracle said so little, the people assumed she knew everything. They filled in the gaps with their own awe. They believed her words carried the weight of the gods, simply because they were so few. You can replicate this effect in your daily life. When you say less, you inevitably appear smarter than you actually are. Why? Because when you are silent, you are not revealing your limitations. Every man has gaps in his knowledge. Every man has prejudices, dull spots, and moments of stupidity. When you speak at length, you expose these flaws. You show the world the edges of your intellect. But when you stay silent, your intellect appears boundless. People assume you are thinking deep thoughts. They assume you are analyzing the situation on a level they cannot comprehend. You might be thinking about what you want for dinner, but because you are staring at them in silence, they think you are dissecting their soul. You get credit for intelligence you do not possess, simply because you had the discipline not to reveal your ignorance. Mark Twain famously said, "It is better to keep your mouth closed and let people think you are a fool than to open it and remove all doubt." The fool cannot help himself. He is terrified of being misunderstood, so he explains. He is terrified of being ignored, so he shouts. He is terrified of the awkward pause, so he babbles. By doing so, he confirms his status as a fool. The powerful man is comfortable with being misunderstood. He does not care if you think he is wrong. He does not need to correct your error. He knows that eventually reality will prove him right. And if it doesn't, he hasn't gone on record with a foolish prediction. This reticence also protects you from the friendship trap. We are taught that to make friends, we must share. We must be vulnerable. We must open up. This is true for intimacy, but it is poison for authority. If you want to be loved, talk. If you want to be led, talk. But if you want to lead, you must maintain a distance. You cannot have power over people who feel they are your equals. And the moment you share every detail of your life, your anxieties, your childhood trauma, your petty grievances, you become their equal. You become human. Humans are not worshipped. Humans are not feared. You must decide what you want. Do you want to be their buddy, or do you want to be their captain? You cannot be both. The captain eats alone. The captain keeps his counsel. The captain does not complain to the crew about the storm. He simply steers the ship. Consider the dynamic of information asymmetry. In any conflict, whether it is a business deal, a lawsuit, or a social rivalry, the person with the most information wins. Information is ammunition. When you talk, you are giving away your ammunition. You are handing the enemy a map of your mind. You are telling them exactly where your defenses are weak. The silent man is a fortress. No one knows where his troops are. No one knows his strategy. He collects information from others because people love to talk. They will tell him everything while giving nothing in return. He knows their cards, but they cannot see his. This makes him terrifying to play against. How can you manipulate a man when you don't know what he wants? How can you flatter a man when you don't know his vanity? How can you threaten a man when you don't know his fear? Silence renders you impervious to the standard weapons of social manipulation. You must learn to treat your words like gold coins. You have a limited supply. Do not throw them into the mud. If a sentence is not necessary, do not speak it. If a joke does not advance your position, swallow it. If an opinion does not change the outcome, keep it to yourself. You will find that as you speak less, your words gain weight. When the silent man finally speaks, people lean in. They stop checking their phones. They know that if he is breaking his silence, it must be important. You create a market for your voice by restricting the supply. Become the oracle. Let them come to you for the answers, and even then, give them only a crumb. Keep them hungry for your wisdom, and they will follow you to the ends of the earth. We now move from defense to offense. Silence is not just a shield to hide your thoughts. It is a sword to cut through the lies of others. This is the advanced application of Law 4, the vacuum technique. Human beings have a deep biological aversion to silence in social interactions. It makes them feel exposed. It triggers a primal fear of rejection. When a conversation halts, the average person feels a physical compulsion to restart it. They feel that the silence is their fault and they must fix it. You can weaponize this compulsion. In any interrogation, negotiation, or confrontation, you can force your opponent to reveal the truth simply by refusing to accept their first answer. When you ask a question and they give you a rehearsed, safe response, do not nod. Do not say, "Okay." Do not move to the next question. Instead, simply look at them. Maintain eye contact. Keep your face completely void of emotion. And wait. Count to 5 in your head. In those 5 seconds, they will unravel. They will interpret your silence as skepticism. They will think, "He knows I'm lying," or "He isn't buying it." Panic will set in. To relieve the pressure of your silence, they will start talking again. I mean, it's not that I didn't want to, it's just that, well, actually, the real reason was, they will vomit the truth. They will add details they intended to keep secret. They will explain away their leverage. You haven't asked a second question. You haven't made a threat. You have simply created a vacuum, and they have rushed to fill it with their own demise. This is the technique of the Grand Inquisitor. If you argue with a liar, they will defend their lie. If you remain silent, they will destroy their lie themselves. They will talk themselves into a corner. They will pile excuse upon excuse until the structure collapses. All you have to do is watch. This requires immense self-control. Your instinct will be to jump in, to accuse, to correct facts. You must suppress this. Let them dig the hole. Only when they are deep enough do you speak, and even then, you speak only to bury them. This applies equally to anger. There is nothing more pathetic than a man losing his temper. A man screaming, waving his arms, and spitting words is a man who has lost control. He is a slave to his emotions. He looks weak. He looks childish. Contrast this with the man who goes cold. When you are disrespected, do not explode. Go quiet. Stare at the offender with total detachment. This silence is terrifying. It implies that the offense was so great that words are no longer sufficient. It implies that you are calculating a punishment rather than just reacting with noise. A screaming boss is annoying. A silent boss is lethal. When you shout, they know you are just venting. When you are silent, they fear what you are planning. Unpredictability is the essence of terror. You must also learn to kill the teacher inside you. Many of us talk because we want to correct people. We hear someone say something wrong, and our ego screams, "I know the answer, let me fix this." Resist this urge. If your enemy is making a mistake, do not correct him. Let him make it. If a fool is saying something stupid, do not argue. Let him remain a fool. Correcting people rarely earns you respect. It creates resentment. It makes you look like a pedant, a know-it-all. The powerful man allows others to be wrong. He smiles, nods, and keeps his accurate information to himself. He understands that knowledge is power, and sharing knowledge is diluting power. Why would you give your enemy the map? Let him walk off the cliff. Ultimately, the vacuum technique is about dominance. The person who speaks the most is usually the one seeking approval. The person who speaks the least is the one granting it. By withholding your words, you place yourself in the position of the judge. You force others to work for your reaction. You force them to dance. Stop performing for the crowd. Sit back, watch, and let the silence do the heavy lifting. The ultimate mastery of Law 4 is not just about strategy, it is about self-conquest. You cannot control your world if you cannot control your tongue. A man who cannot keep a secret, who cannot swallow a complaint, and who cannot resist the urge to gossip is a slave to his impulses. He is a leaf in the wind. You must view every conversation as a battlefield where your words are your soldiers. Do not send them out to die for no reason. Keep them in the reserves. Practice the 3-second rule. Before you answer any question, before you respond to any insult, and before you laugh at any joke, pause for 3 seconds. In that pause, you will find your sanity. You will realize that the clever comeback you wanted to make is actually petty. You will realize that the explanation you wanted to give is unnecessary. You will save yourself from 1,000 regrets. There has never been a man who woke up and said, "I wish I had spoken more yesterday." But millions wake up every day wishing they had said less. You will learn to love the taste of your own silence. There is a deep peace that comes from this discipline. You are no longer scrambling to justify your existence. You are no longer seeking validation. You are simply being. When you stop trying to impress people with your words, they become impressed by your presence. You become a gravity well in the room. Sew your lips shut. Burn the manifesto. Delete the long text message. Let them wonder what you are thinking. Let them guess your next move. Be the Sphinx in a world of screaming children. The less you say, the more they will listen. And when you finally do speak, your voice will sound like thunder.